and the highest performing. Well, Elon Musk experienced the 7th worst day of his life today, with the stock market crashing on fears of a Donald Trump-caused recession, which Wall Street is calling the Trumpcession. Getting a recession named after you as president is not easy. It usually is not so clear, not an absolute straight line of causation from presidential policies to a recession. And so no one called any of the recessions of our lifetimes a president recession, a Bush recession, or a Reagan recession, or, none of that. They didn't try to do that with the name of any other president during our lifetimes. Of course, there were no recessions under the last 3 Democratic presidents, President Biden, President Obama, President Clinton. Donald Trump has failed miserably in his attempt to blame what even he suggests may be a looming recession on President Biden, who handed Donald Trump the highest performing American economy in history and the highest performing stock market in history. And during the Trump presidency, just these last few weeks, consumer prices have gone up and stock prices have gone down, way down. CNBC reports on Friday, Tesla wrapped up a 7th straight week of losses, its longest losing streak since debuting on the NASDAQ in 2010. The stock has fallen every week since CEO Elon Musk went to Washington, D.C. to take on a major role in the second Trump White House, since peaking at $479.86 on December 17th. Tesla shares have lost more than 50% of their value, wiping out upward of $800 billion in market cap. Monday marked the stock's 7th worst day on record. Elon Musk has publicly confessed to using ketamine to get through emotionally difficult times. Donald Trump made the mistake in an interview this weekend that no other president has made. He essentially predicted a recession is coming.
Are you expecting a recession this year?
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big.
I got to tell you, that's the first time I've actually seen the video. The way I do this is I read the Trump transcripts. I don't look at the video. It's even stupider when you see the video. Transition almost sounds like recession, but that's what he meant when he said transition. When a president is asked if he's expecting a recession, the correct answer is no. It's always been no. Every president has known that prior to Donald Trump. There was plenty of talk of a possible recession during President Biden's term, with some economists actually predicting a recession because of President Biden's policies. Not only were those economists, and they were reasonable economists, but not only were those economists' predictions very wrong, but Joe Biden always said they were wrong. Joe Biden always said there would not be a recession on his watch. Joe Biden always promised no recession. Donald Trump had a chance to fix his failed answer to the "Are you expecting a recession?" question. And of course, it just got worse.
Maria Bartiromo asked you, and you kind of hesitated.
I'll tell you what, of course you hesitate.
Who knows? The guy who claimed to be a business genius, and that's why you should elect him president, that guy answers the most important question you can ask him about the economy. He answers it with a "who knows?" And as soon as the stock market opens up after Donald Trump says that, the stock market panics. And if you ask anyone on Wall Street, as the financial networks have been doing in their live coverage of the Trump stock market collapse, why is the stock market collapsing? No one says, "Who knows?" No one on CNBC today, all day, no one said, "Who knows?" They all say it's the Trump tariffs, which they all believe could lead to now the Trumpcession. And the Wall Street Journal has even predicted that the Trump tariffs could lead to a Great Depression. If Donald Trump announced right now that he is not going to impose any of those tariffs that he has promised to impose, and he will simply stop talking about tariffs, the stock market would rally tomorrow and go through the roof. But Donald Trump is now trying to pretend he doesn't pay any attention to the stock market.
So I won the election. The markets went up thousands of points. You have no choice but to vote for me because your 401ks down the tubes. You want to see a market crash? If we lost this election, I think the market would go down the tubes.
I think the stock market's going to be great.
So that guy, yeah, he never thinks about the stock market. The truth is, Donald Trump doesn't understand the stock market, which is why he never got any richer in the stock market. Donald Trump didn't invest in Microsoft in the early years. He had plenty of money to do it, but he didn't. He didn't invest in anything in their early years and ride any stock up. He didn't invest in Tesla, for that matter, or anything else, because he doesn't understand anything about investing or the stock market, apparently. Elon Musk's position as the richest person in the world is based on the value of Tesla stock. The sinking Tesla stock price is not Tesla's only problem. Sales of Tesla in Europe have collapsed. Tesla car sales in Germany fell by 76%, down 24% in the Netherlands, 42% in Sweden, 48% in Norway and Denmark, 45% in France, 55% in Italy, 10% in Spain, 53% in Portugal. In the United States, Tesla sales fell by 6%, with Cybertruck's sales down 32%. And on Saturday, a Tesla showroom in Manhattan was shut down after more than 350 protesters gathered outside. Democratic State Senator Brad Hoylman-Siegel, who represents the district, told the New York Times that protesters have gathered at that location for weeks, with each weekend's protests drawing a larger crowd than the previous weekends. He told the Times that it is, quote, cathartic for New Yorkers to go to the streets, and that it was important for Mr. Musk and Mr. Trump to see that cutting the federal government off at its knees is going to hurt a lot of people. The Washington Post reports, quote, since President Donald Trump's inauguration, more than a dozen violent or destructive acts have been directed at Tesla facilities, according to court documents, surveillance photographs, police records, and local media reports reviewed by the Washington Post. In March, several Tesla superchargers at a shopping center in Littleton, Massachusetts, were set ablaze. Vandals in Maryland also spray-painted "No Musk" onto a Tesla building alongside a swastika-like symbol. In February, a man brandishing an AR-style semi-automatic weapon fired at a Tesla storefront in Salem, Oregon. Just a few weeks earlier, investigators say the same man attacked the same dealership by throwing Molotov cocktails at Tesla vehicles and through the store window. He caused an estimated $500,000 in damage, according to court documents. Cryptocurrencies had a very bad day on Wall Street today. If the United States of America were a big investor in crypto, like Donald Trump wants us to be, the United States would have lost a lot of money today. But luckily, the Social Security trust funds are not crypto. So the Social Security trust funds did not lose a dime today. On Friday, Donald Trump announced nothing that kind of seemed like something.
Signed an executive order officially creating our strategic Bitcoin reserve, and this will be a virtual Fort Knox for digital gold to be housed within the United States Treasury. That's a big thing.
Nah, it's not a big thing. It's kind of a fake thing, because the first question you would have is, how is the United States of America going to buy cryptocurrencies? That would be the same thing as the United States buying Tesla stock or any other stock, which the United States of America cannot legally do. Here's what Donald Trump actually said they are going to do.
The Treasury and Commerce Departments will also explore new pathways to accumulate additional Bitcoin holdings for the reserve, provided it's done at no cost to the taxpayers.
Oh, okay. So that means the Treasury will not buy any cryptocurrencies at all. That's like me saying I'm going to explore new pathways to buy the Boston Celtics. They're for sale, just like cryptocurrencies are for sale, but no matter how many pathways I explore to buy the Boston Celtics, I won't be able to do it. Donald Trump did say one true thing about the United States government and cryptocurrencies. He said the federal government already owns Bitcoin, some Bitcoin. And that's true. And every bit of cryptocurrency in the possession of the federal government, every bit of it, was seized as part of a criminal prosecution of drug dealers and other criminals who own and trade in cryptocurrency. The federal government also owns yachts and fancy cars and a lot of other stuff seized in criminal prosecutions of drug dealers. That is the only legal way the federal government can obtain cryptocurrencies. It is not legal for the federal government to buy cryptocurrencies. And so the Trump team will be exploring those pathways and probably never find a legal pathway to obtain crypto other than arresting a lot more drug dealers. According to an affidavit written under oath by Tiffany Flick, who worked at the Social Security Administration for 30 years, most recently as the acting chief of staff to the acting commissioner of Social Security. Thanks to Elon Musk, Donald Trump could become the first president in history who fails to deliver Social Security benefits, as every president since Franklin Delano Roosevelt has managed to do every day that Social Security has been in operation for the last 85 years. Social Security checks have never been a day late or a dollar short, but now we have no idea what is happening inside the Social Security Administration. The 12-page affidavit goes into great detail. This is an under oath statement. Great detail about what has happened at the Social Security Administration in the recent days, leading to the conclusion, I am not confident that Department of Government Efficiency associates have the requisite knowledge and training to prevent sensitive information from being inadvertently transferred to bad actors. That is your birth date, your Social Security number, and all the information necessary to steal your identity, possibly being, quote, inadvertently transferred to bad actors. Elon Musk's team is now running Social Security, including an acting commissioner, Leland Dudek, who was installed by Donald Trump. The affidavit says Elon Musk's team, none of whom know anything about Social Security and its operations, have access now to everything that Social Security does, everything it has, including the invaluable and previously totally secure enterprise data warehouse, as well as the master beneficiary record. The affidavit says full access to other Social Security Administration data systems might also include write access, which would allow for the changing of data in the system. So Elon Musk's tech team could change the amount of Social Security you might receive next month, including changing it down to zero or the system. We don't know because we have no idea what Elon Musk is doing inside Social Security. The affidavit says we can no longer be sure, quote, that Social Security Administration programs will continue to function and operate without disruption. That would be the first disruption in the history of Social Security, the oldest, the biggest, the most successful government program in American history. The affidavit says the disruptions Elon Musk could create, quote, could result in benefits payments not being paid out or delays in payments. I understand that Department of Government Efficiency associates have been seeking access to the source code to Social Security Administration systems. If granted, I am not confident that such associates have the requisite understanding of Social Security Administration to avoid critical errors that could upend Social Security Administration systems. No one has ever been worried about that before in the 85-year history of Social Security. In a weird Elon Musk interview today on Fox, he said something not completely coherent about Social Security and 8-year-olds. Now, what you can be absolutely sure of is that Elon Musk had no idea that Social Security actually does, before he took over Social Security anyway, pay 8-year-olds. He surely had no idea that there are thousands of 8-year-olds and 6-year-olds and infant babies receiving Social Security, because when a parent of children under the age of 18 dies, that child receives survivor benefits from that parent's Social Security account. So yes, there are Social Security checks going out to the oldest people in America and to the youngest people in America, and every child receiving survivor benefits from Social Security wishes they weren't. Will Elon Musk cut them off next month? We have no idea, but we do know he was very eager to stop food shipments from the United States Agency for International Development that were on their way last month to feed starving children in the famine in Sudan. Elon Musk loved doing that. He loved snatching that food away from those children. So no one should be shocked if he does have one of his techies flip a switch and Social Security stops sending all survivor benefits to every child who sadly receives those benefits in the United States. Donald Trump said two things in the same answer that sent the stock market crashing today. One was that ridiculous "who knows" to the question of, is there going to be a recession? But what he said immediately after that is the reason that everyone on Wall Street cites for the Trump stock market crash.
Maria Bartiromo asked you, and you kind of hesitated.
I'll tell you what, of course you hesitate. Who knows? All I know is we're going to take in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs, and we're going to become so rich, you're not going to know where to spend all that money.
We're going to take in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. We are going to take in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. Okay, who are we going to take it from? We are going to take it from ourselves. Every American consumer will pay the Trump tariffs, and everyone on Wall Street knows that, and that is why the stock market is crashing. No one is going to get richer because of the Trump tariffs. Everyone is going to have less disposable income because we will all be paying the Trump tariffs. Donald Trump is gleefully talking about taking hundreds of billions of dollars from you, from his voters, from everyone in the United States, and only from people in the United States, because the Trump tariffs cannot be paid by anyone else. Last week, Donald Trump announced a delay in his illegal tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports to this country, but Canada has decided to play tougher than Donald Trump and is going ahead with its retaliatory tariffs against Donald Trump, and the people of Minnesota know it.